friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. We're back today with another pantry mix video, and this is one that I have been looking forward to making for a long time because I've been wanting to share with y'all my master baking mix blend. This is what I go to for all of the breakfasty things when I want something fast. This one blend can be used to make pancakes, waffles, biscuits, and even other things, just depending on what we add to it afterwards. But all of the base ingredients are the same, so I usually try to make up about a half-gallon jar worth and put it in the pantry, and it's there when we need it. So I'm going to be making the master base for you today, and then we're going to continue on the video and show you how to make pancakes, waffles, and biscuits with the mix that we're about to make. Before we jump into that, in case you haven't heard, the giveaway for our Mix in Jars cookbook is open. All you have to do to enter is click the link in the description box. If you have trouble with that, depending on the device that you are on, go ahead and comment pantry mix down in the description box below, and I will send you the link directly. Hopefully that'll make it easier for you to access. But just like always, when we release a new resource here at Food Prep Guide, we like to kick it off with a giveaway where we will choose one person to win a free copy of the cookbook. This cookbook is going to be, like I said, it's titled Mix in Jars, so it's going to be all of our pantry mixes, our dry mixes, all of those things where we just add liquid to make whatever it is that we're going to make and make it that much quicker. So we are really excited to release it. It's not available yet, but the giveaway is open, so be sure to enter. Okay, let's get started. Okay, to start, we will need flour, of course, so let's go ahead and get that taken care of. We need 6 cups of flour. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, next we need 1.5 cups of buttermilk powder. You can use milk powder for this if that's all you have. If all you have is milk powder, I do highly recommend whole milk powder. I can't vouch for what the flavor is going to be like if you use the non-fat instant kind. But if you can swing it, I do highly recommend the buttermilk powder. It makes the best pancakes and waffles. And I will link in the description box if you need a recommendation for where to buy it. Okay, 1.5 cups. I'm going to use my half cup for this because it fits down in the jar better. So I'm going to do 3 scoops of my half cup. Whoops. 1, 2, and 3 for a total of 1.5 cups of buttermilk powder. And to that, we need 1/3 cup of sugar. Is this my 1/3 cup? Yep. 1/3 cup of sugar, which I didn't get out. 1/3 cup of sugar. And then we need 3 tablespoons of baking powder. 3 tablespoons of baking powder. 1, 2, and 3. And then to that, we will add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. We buy baking soda by the 5-pound packages. We use it for a lot of cleaning and stuff like that, and of course cooking. So I always just kind of store it in a little pint jar in the fridge, and the rest is stored in our back closet area. So 1 tablespoon of baking soda. And last but not least, we need 3 teaspoons of salt. I do recommend a fine ground salt for this. This is Redmond's real salt, but any fine ground salt will work. So 3 teaspoons of that salt, and that is it. I think my whisk is dirty, so I'm going to get this mixed up with just a spoon. It looks like my forks are dirty too. I need to do dishes. Okay, let's get this stirred up, and then we will get it into a jar. And then let's make up the waffles and pancakes and biscuits. I did want to mention, when I am out of my glass jars, or of course we don't run out, but they're being used for other things, I store them in this container, my mixes. It has a nice little handle. It has a huge opening so I can get my scoops in and out. This is the Hoosier Hill whole milk powder container. So if you just buy the milk powder and this, then you'll have the container ready for pantry mixes in the future. It's a really nice jug. But I do prefer to store things in glass just because of getting rid of plastic. And also, if I wanted to vacuum seal the mason jar, then I could easily do that. Of course, we can't vacuum seal in this. To answer the question about vacuum sealing this mixture, I do not, but you certainly can. There's nothing wrong, there's nothing unsafe about vacuum sealing this pantry mix. I just choose not to because I know that it's only going to sit in my pantry for about 2 months. I typically don't vacuum seal items unless I know that it's going to be in my pantry for 3 to 4 months or longer. That's when I choose to vacuum seal. This is a jar that we're going to be in and out of over the next several weeks, and so I just don't choose to vacuum seal in that kind of situation. But if you want to, you absolutely can. Okay, let me get this poured into the mixture and we'll get cooking. Okay, let's make our pancakes from this master mix. To start, we need 1 1/3 cup of our mix. One and 1/3. This is another reason why I like storing. I don't really mind storing in these containers whenever I'm out of my glass jars because my cups fit all the way down into them. Okay, so 1 1/3 cups of your base mix. To that we will add 1 cup of water. Now this recipe that I'm giving to you right now is a half batch, which is going to make around 6 to 8 pancakes. We don't need a whole bunch tonight, so you can easily double these ingredients if you need more than 6 to 8 pancakes. Okay, so 1 cup of water, so now we're going to add 1 egg. Let me toss that in the sink real quick. And 2 tablespoons of lard. Now I'm going to be using lard, but you can use whatever oil you want here. Avocado oil is good. I don't recommend avocado oil. Avocado oil is good. I don't recommend olive oil. It just does not taste very good. But we use lard in this recipe and it is delicious. So 2 tablespoons of whatever oil that you like. I prefer lard. And then finally, just get out of there. Finally, 1 splash of vanilla, which is, about a teaspoon is what the recipe would call for, as a teaspoon. I'm just going to do a little splash because a little extra vanilla never hurt anybody. Okay, and that's it. That is it, y'all. Let me get this stirred up, whisked up, and then we will cook them up. Okay, now let's use our base mix to make some waffles. So for this recipe, to make waffles, we need 2 cups of our pancake mix, or our master mix. One and 2. And to that, we will add 1 cup of water. And then 2 eggs. Whoops. And 2. And then we're going to do 6 tablespoons. Let me rinse my hands off real quick. Okay, and then we need 6 tablespoons of whatever oil that you like. We do avocado oil for our waffles. Again, I do not recommend olive oil, but whatever oil you like to bake with. We need 6 tablespoons. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And last but not least is another teaspoon of vanilla extract. Just like with the pancakes, just going to do a splash. And mix it up really good. Man, those yolks on those eggs were yellow. They were dark. I mean, I know they're always yellow, but if you raise chickens, you know that sometimes you really get some deep orange yolks. And these were super duper orange. I don't know if you can see how yellow that batter is. Okay, now we are ready to make waffles. Let me get the waffle iron out and we'll cook some up. Okay, as I'm sure y'all know, the key to good waffles as far as getting an actual waffle shape is a really hot waffle iron and greasing it really well. So I just have some avocado oil in this little measuring cup and I'm just going to brush it on with this little silicone brush. You can do this with melted butter. We often use coconut oil because coconut oil really gives it like a nice flavor. Our family really loves this taste of coconut. But I have the avocado oil out, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that today. Okay, I'm going to give that just a few more, maybe 30 seconds to a minute of heating up before I put the batter in. Okay, I usually use a 1/2 cup measuring cup to fill the waffle iron. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes I gotta do just a little bit more, like this time. Get around the edges just a little bit more. I'll only make one of these on screen. Y'all know how to make waffles, I'm sure. And then we will make up the biscuits. Okay, there it is. It always sticks on the top. I wonder why. But I'd rather it stick on the top because then I can just flop it on the bottom like that. Okay, perfect little waffle. Now let's make some biscuits. Okay, last but not least, let's turn these into biscuits. We need 1 cup of mixture. Now this is, again, a half recipe because we don't need a bunch tonight. So this is going to make about 4 biscuits. So double if you need to. So 1 cup, and I'm going to make sure to do like a heaping cup because technically the technical measurement is 1 1/8 of a cup. But whenever something calls for an eighth, I just do a heaping. So there's a heaping cup of flour, which is going to be around 1 1/8. And then all we need to add is 1/3 cup of milk, and that's it. So these are the biscuits that you turn to when you really don't feel like cooking. We have a favorite biscuit, a buttermilk biscuit recipe, and it's just a little bit more labor intensive. This is a great recipe when you really don't feel like cooking. It's just your base mixture and milk, and that is it. Let me get this mixed up and then we'll cut out the biscuits. Okay, I'm just going to sprinkle my surface just like we would with any kind of biscuit recipe. You just heard my oven beep. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. As you can see, these cook up really fast, or they make up really fast at least. The dough is going to be extremely sticky. So definitely flour the surface and your hands before mixing or before kneading. You don't really have to knead them. When I say knead for this recipe, I just mean using your fingers to really mix it well and pat it out. We put more flour on the surface because it is sticking pretty bad. And that should do it once I get some more flour on my hands. And my roller. Like I said, this is only going to make about 4 to 6 biscuits. Kind of depends on how thin you do them. I don't have a fancy biscuit cutter, just a cup here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I might be able to, here's how thin they are. These are not super thick biscuits. Like I said, this is really a go-to for when a biscuit would be good with your meal, but you really don't feel like cooking them. Or making them, I guess I should say. I'm going to try and get 2 more biscuits out of this for a total of 6. One and 2. And then I'm just going to do like I always do with the scraps, ball it up, flatten it out as best I can. It won't be a full biscuit, but it'll be something. Okay, so the oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. These only need to cook for about 12 minutes. Let me double check the time and make sure I said that right. Yep, 12 minutes. So we will be back when these come out of the oven. Okay, here they are, fresh out of the oven. They're still too hot to touch. I'm going to use my fork to cut one open so you can see what the inside looks like. I'm doing this one-handed, so please forgive me. That's how it looks inside. A very nice, quick biscuit. You can see they don't rise too much. Some of them got a little puffy like that one, but they stay pretty flat. But they're still nice and fluffy on the inside. Great for a super quick biscuit. Okay, friends, don't forget, enter the Mix in Jars giveaway down in the description box below, or you can comment pantry mix down in the comments and I'll send you the link directly. That's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Bye!